Hello, my name's Revenge, and today I'm going to be sharing something different with you. Recently, I started a SCP sandbox page, and in it is my first SCP. I call it the Code of Snakes. Um, if you like it, or have any ideas on how I can change it, or some feedback, please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, enjoy the Code of Snakes.
Item hash SCP-XXXX. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-XXXX is to be contained in the humanoid ward at Site-62 and kept under constant exposure to FSL, full spectrum light, which is to be maintained once a month. 2. Guards equipped with FSL rifles are to be kept outside of SCP-XXXX's cell in the event of a containment breach or catastrophic power failure. Guards are to have no communication with SCP-XXXX and must be interviewed on a weekly basis for evaluation. In the event a guard is proven to have communicated with SCP-XXXX, they are to be given Class A amnestics and reassigned to another site. See Addendum XXXX01 for further details. All personnel are to maintain a safe distance of 7 feet as to not activate SCP-XXXX's effect. Any and all experimentation requests are to be submitted in writing to the current site director, and all submissions must be from personnel with a security clearance of level 3 or higher, and must be informed about SCP-XXXX's current containment procedures. Description: SCP-XXXX is a nondescript male that appears to be at minimum a visual age of 45 years old despite being active for much longer. See article subsection History for further details. The subject possesses and wears a brown trench coat and fedora designed by brand redacted. It is unknown what the fabric is made of. Attempts to get close to SCP-XXXX have been met with failure due to SCP-XXXX's proximity effect. Any organic sapient being that comes within 7 feet of SCP-XXXX will trigger the emergence of SCP-XXXX1. SCP-XXXX1 is a 7-foot double-headed cobra of unknown origin or species. It's been speculated by researchers that SCP-XXXX1 may be an unknown variant of the king cobra or the spitting cobra, due to its size and ability to spit. The hood of SCP-XXXX1 has shown to have a mimetic effect. Any organic sapient beings that see the underside of SCP-XXXX1's hood will quickly transform into a mouse, in which SCP-XXXX1 will attempt to devour. SCP-XXXX was captured in Carolina on date redacted after a series of disappearances that were believed to be linked to the Chaos Insurgency. When attempting to contain SCP-XXXX, there were no known containment options for SCP-XXXX, and its proximity effect made it difficult for physical detainment, and sightings only occurred at night. It wasn't until date redacted that the discovery was made that SCP-XXXX was rendered immobile by full spectrum light. This discovery led to the invention of FSL rifles, invented by Dr. FSL rifles are battery-operated laser rifles that fire a continuous beam of synthesized sunlight. All task force personnel are to use FSL rifles to incapacitate SCP-XXXX in the event of a containment breach. History: according to Foundation researchers, SCP-XXXX has been active for a minimum of potentially 60 years and has been linked to more than 125 unsolved missing persons cases in the United States. Researchers have theorized one link to these victims. Most if not all of them are found to be practicing, or descendants of Pentecostal Christians, which have been known to worship snakes. Researchers have yet to find a reason to these abductions, and at the time of writing this article it is presumed that more than half of the abducted are deceased. Communications with SCP-XXXX have been found to be unsuccessful. FSL inhibits the subject's ability to speak or otherwise communicate. And anytime FSL containment is deactivated, SCP-XXXX will attempt to breach containment and escape. The only time SCP-XXXX has ever spoken to interviewers was during a spontaneous power failure on the night of date redacted. In the darkness a single voice was heard saying, "Infidels. Non-believers. The church snakes will rise. Imprisoning me only delays the inevitable. If not me, then my fellow brethren will finish what I have started." Upon this message being uttered, SCP-XXXX never attempted to breach containment and remained within range of the FSL's area of effect. Addendum XXXX01. Individuals that have communications with SCP-XXXX have varying degrees of effect. Any individuals with an athletic or combative background that are affected will attempt to break SCP-XXXX out of containment and escape. Those with manipulative personalities will try to convince others to join the Church of Snakes and form a rebellion within the ranks of the Foundation. After monitoring unauthorized conversations with SCP-XXXX, recordings have shown that SCP-XXXX uses very specific words, as if triggering latent mental programming. Research has yielded that SCP-XXXX is very selective with who it talks to, as all of its targets are descendants of Pentecostal Christians, which has led to the relocation of many staff members of the Foundation. Even with these countermeasures in place, SCP-XXXX has managed to find descendants of undocumented ancestors. How SCP-XXXX is able to detect these descendants has yet to be found or proven. Further study is needed. Interviews with compromised individuals have yet to yield any useful information. Interrogated individuals often try to self-terminate. For the safety of Foundation personnel, O5 Command has put an order in effect to sedate and administer Class A amnestics to the affected, as any form of psychological therapy or reprogramming proves to be ineffective. Addendum XXXX02. Experiments with SCP-XXXX have shown that it is a masterful hand-to-hand combatant. SCP-XXXX was put in a testing chamber rigged with FSLs. Once it is wheeled in, a group of 10 D-Class with a history of violent crimes were brought in with a wide assortment of melee combat weapons. When all were in position, the FSLs were released, and all D-Class were given the order to attack SCP-XXXX. During this time, SCP-XXXX shows knowledge in various martial arts, particularly of Israeli origin, specifically Krav Maga and Budokan. SCP-XXXX also shows usage of SCP-XXXX1, often using it for a grappling weapon similar to the Shangbiao or rope dart. Other times SCP-XXXX1 is allowed to roam freely within 7 feet of SCP-XXXX and fight independently, often using its mimetic effect to turn D-Class personnel into mice and devour them. Once all D-Class were incapacitated or killed, the FSLs are reactivated and SCP-XXXX is then returned to its containment cell. Addendum XXXX03. To test the maximum radius of SCP-XXXX's proximity effect, a single D-Class was ordered to slowly approach SCP-XXXX until SCP-XXXX1 appears. Upon passing 7 feet, SCP-XXXX1 appears out of SCP-XXXX's sleeve and flashes the underside of its hood. The D-Class is then transformed into a mouse and immediately consumed by SCP-XXXX1. Message from O5 Command. Gentlemen, upon discovering the message from SCP-XXXX, all Pentecostal Christians and their denominations are to be monitored by select Foundation personnel. Any unusual activity should be documented and reported to their congruent section leader for review. In the meantime, SCP-XXXX is to be investigated and studied further. If this message is anything to go by, we could be on the brink of terrible things to come. Secure, contain, protect.